But either way, like I said, I'm not trying to give Ethan too much credit or anything. I hate the guy. I think he's deranged and unhinged and off his rocker. But I was low-key surprised when I saw this video drop, Zach, that he's 100% done takedown of Destiny. Now, it's obviously too late. You know, Ethan should have been clowning Destiny a long time ago, but I think this is coming for a couple different reasons. For one, I do think Ethan is genuinely annoyed about people constantly pointing out how much of his anti-Hassan talking points are just derived from Destiny and Destiny's community. So I think that started to turn him off and piss him off after a while, being like, all right, I'm sick of people just saying that I plagiarized Destiny's talking points and the talking points that are commonly espoused on Destiny's various subreddits where he's been caught browsing, right? So I think he wants
a fan.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, and that's what most people were saying. So I think he genuinely wanted to kind of dispel that and be like, no, just because I've historically plagiarized talking points from Destiny's subreddit doesn't mean that I'm not also capable of criticizing him. And the other reason I think he just had to do this is because he makes a lot of content about various streamers, specifically left-wing streamers, and allegations involving creepy online activity. Lately he's been going after Taylor Lorenz, which is completely unwarranted and a total fucking smear job, but he keeps calling her a pedophile because she did a story where she got some quotes from underage Roblox users, but she didn't do anything creepy.
The biggest nothing burger ever. I looked into that because I was like, what the fuck is this? And then literally she was just reaching out to a child because they were Roblox users, and he was like, this is pedophile. I was like, no, it's not. It's like interviewing a person under 18 within business hours.
Like, right. And again, nothing creepy or inappropriate was exposed about those interactions at all. He's just completely smearing her. But again, if you're going to call Taylor Lorenz a pedophile, and if you're going to make endless videos as we did about Vosh's creepy online behavior and what's been exposed about him, which 100% is your right to do. We did it too. It's something that should be addressed, quite frankly. But if you're going to do that, you can't exactly just be silent about Destiny, who's recently earned the name, Sex Pestiny by the internet. It's like you can't just ignore.
And he had that before any of this shit came out, right? And that's what I think is funny. Like, do you remember just like 3 weeks ago, Hutch was backpedaling and being like, "Oh, I called out Destiny too quickly, and I probably judged him too harshly," because Destiny started saying a bunch of nice things about how Hutch, really debated the Vanguard guys. He really showed them what was up. He really told them that there was nothing Joe Biden could do. Joe Biden was actually based, and everybody else was just so cringe, bro. And it was a bunch of like 36-year-old men, having a little stroke off fest together. Well, Hutch has had to change his tune again and be like, I never associated with Destiny beyond the regular run-of-the-mill media association. So, you guys can't do guilt by association. Anyway.
Yeah. Either way, Zach, if you want to, we can react to maybe the first 5 minutes when I talk about this, because not only can we see Ethan changing his tune on Destiny in real time, but also, this is some pretty interesting stuff. He's responding to this video from the Willie Mack show, who previously was a huge Destiny orbiter. And this kind of reminds me, Zach, remember about a year ago when all the Vosh drama was going down, slowly but surely the Vosh orbiting channels, they started to turn on him, even though they were like, oh, fuck, here goes my whole fucking career. Here goes my one connection to a relevant streamer. I'm going to have to burn that bridge to be able to sleep at night, essentially, or to save my own reputation, depending on how you look at it. So I think in the same way, this Willie Mack guy, he's kind of playing that role where he was defending Destiny until it literally became impossible to continue doing so. Mm-hmm. And according to the video that Ethan reacts to, this Willie Mack guy literally reported Destiny to the police.
That's what I saw too.
Yeah. So let's take a look here. I'm interested in your opinion here. And I'm also interested in your take on like the actual legality of all of this. Cause I mean, obviously it's creepy and immoral, but I do know that Destiny lives in Florida. I'm not sure what the age of consent law is in Florida. I don't know if this person he was chatting with is like reporting it to the police or if they're going to press charges. Like it's a very, I hope he gets in trouble, but I'm just not sure.
From what I've read, it's probably unlikely that he's going to go to jail if that's what anybody's speculating about. Potentially a civil suit could come and cost him some money. Certainly lawyers and things like that will cost him money, but unfortunately, when it comes to criminal suits of this kind, it's really unlikely that you see somebody go behind bars.
Gotcha.
Welcome, guys. Today, I bring you a breaking story that was brought to us from friends of the show, Willie Mack. He broke a story here. He was talking to Destiny, who's being alleged of sexting with a 17-year-old, including receiving nude videos of her. Uh-oh is right. That's what they call dicey, or what Jared Fogle calls nice. Anyway, Willie's video is really short. It's 4 minutes long. I'm going to watch it. But I encourage you all to go show Willie some support, because pretty incredible stuff he's doing here. He reported him to the police. And based on what I've seen, I would not be surprised if the police have questions for him. Let's take a watch.
I reported Destiny to the police. This is not clickbait and entirely has to do with the DMs he sent me. A few days ago, a Reddit post showed that the girl Destiny shared Pixie's nudes with was seemingly confirmed to be 17 years old due to her getting doxxed. There is almost a 0% chance that she was not 17 during that time. So
what happened was, Destiny was involved in a leak he's now being sued for. Someone he was talking with, which is the 17-year-old, but we didn't know she was 17. So all of her message got hacked and leaked. And then in those messages, people revealed that he was sending his sexual videos with other people to her,
like Nick Fuentes,
without their consent.
Yeah, and this is what's so weird, right? Again, chat, let me know if I just live this, little Puritan white picket fence life in humble Kansas City. But what the fuck is going on in all of these discords, right? Like, Destiny is talking to kittens and little young people that are potentially 16, 17 years old. And he's sending them videos of his sex life. And he's asking them to, can I see a picture of your hoo-ha? Like, I don't know how the fuck this shit goes down. But it seems to me that anybody who is putting themselves in the situation, anybody who's creating that kind of predatory environment is a deeply sick person. This is an unwell person. And I think that Steven has all of the hallmarks of a guy that is trying to exploit whatever success and resources he has for his own sexual gain. Now, a lot of people do that, right? And is it right when they do that? No, it's not right. But we usually mind our own fucking business if the victims are 21 or older. But when you have a victim that could potentially be getting on the bus, the school bus, the big yellow bus, taking them to the class, going to first hour, second hour, third hour, homeroom, lunch. Oh my gosh, I hope they don't make me run the mile in gym class. And you're like, here's a picture of my hog, you fucking kitten. Like, you're a psychopath. You need help and you need to go away from society. Whether or not the police force him to do that would be a failure of our society. But I mean, if you're doing that, like, I don't care how you explain it.
And not just sending a dick pic, like, here's 4 or 5 hours of my greatest hits. Like, here's a sizzle reel of me, and all my sexual exploits from over the last.
Picturing Destiny's big ass fucking head and little body too. It's like,
yeah. And again, even if it wasn't an underage person, I just don't understand sending a bunch of porn starring yourself to potential sexual partners or like future romantic partners. Like, I just don't get it. Who wants to see that? Who that you were like trying to flirt with or date wants to watch hours and hours.
Faye does it all the time.
LOL. Yes, we do. That's all we do. We're actually not pedophiles. We're against pedophilia. Unlike our enemies, Destiny, who is in fact himself a pedophile. I mean, low key, what else can you say in this instance? We have the right to brag. Yeah, it's just weird. I just don't get this whole thing, because we talked about the revenge porn thing, how Destiny basically sent all this porn starring himself, but featuring other people who sometimes didn't even know they were being recorded, which is super creepy.
That is the most illegal and creepy part about it. Outside, obviously, sending those messages to a 17-year-old, it like, that's really gross. But filming somebody without their knowledge and then dispersing it, like, that is extremely criminal and can get prosecuted like very quickly and efficiently if you can prove that happened.
Exactly. And I think the problem is it's hard to prove it happened, because apparently Destiny, like, even though it's obvious that he's the one who leaked the revenge porn, like, he's saying that, who knows who leaked it? It just got out there or something. So I don't really
there's a way to be like, I didn't know that this was being filmed at all. This guy's in possession of the material,
right?
I
would hope. And it does seem like he directly was sending it to people like Rose. So in that case, I don't know how he could deny culpability behind being the leaker if he's literally sending it to people like this.
Or a leaker, which would still be criminal.
Right. But it's like, I totally agree with you about Discord. I've never been a big Discord user. Obviously, no offense to the people who have communities on Discord. We have a Discord community for sure. But yeah, I do know that it has a bad reputation, not only for this kind of stuff, but just, as being a place where Child predation is very common. It's a place where, groomers hang out because they know that there's a lot of 13-year-olds in their anime or Roblox or whatever kind of communities. So I know that people who track and investigate sex crimes talk about Discord as being a problem and a real place where grooming occurs. But either way, let's keep watching this because there's some more crazy details.
And so one of those girls is now suing Destiny, right? And so Kiwi Farms somehow, I don't know, some of them work at the NSA or NASA or something. They got a picture of this girl. They triangulated it through 20 face recognition ID and somehow matched up all their moles and was like, this is the person. It's nuts. Okay. You can't hide anything from them. All you have to do is not sext with minors, right? Or do anything sexual with minors. And then you don't have to worry that much about Kiwi Farms, right? But anyway, go ahead, Willie.
What I usually do and reached out to get a comment. He said the girl, Rose, told him she was 19 and in college at the time, and that the leaker Solo, who is her ex-boyfriend, confirmed that she lied about her age to him. This is true. In similar scandals, this is where people usually argue, is he lying? Did he actually know the age? Is it his fault if he was catfish?
He's forgetting somebody, of course, Sin Jared. My favorite, the original, who continues to skate by totally unscathed. Go ahead, Jared. Tell us this. Tell us.
What this all came down to was people saying that I was exchanging nudes with fans on Snapchat and Tumblr. And a lot of people want to know if I did any of that.
Well, he didn't, obviously, right? So good.
Yeah, I did.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
I did.
That's a direct excerpt from his video. But that's pro Jared. Go ahead, Willie.
All the details to come out before I comment. This is not why I went to the police. It's because he continued to write. I didn't know this until way later, but the videos she recorded with other guys, the file names are like screen recording, blah, blah, blah. And then he shows me a screenshot of the top of a video clip and says, her boyfriend was recording these on Skype calls. That's absolutely insane to think about him doing all of this if she was 17.
The irony of that is absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, bro, it's on your computer.
Well,
you think that's crazy? Yeah. It is. It's on your computer.
I don't think the big bombshell here is the fact that it's called screen recording.
No.
I think it's everything else.
Why would he say this? But it gets crazier.
On Skype calls. That's absolutely insane to think about him doing all of this if she was 17. Well, this is insane to me because he's saying Rose's boyfriend recorded CP while sending me a screenshot of the alleged CP. So I asked to confirm if he just did that. If you were sending me this, I'm guessing you still have that video. Destiny replies, depends on why you're asking. But yes.
Does it?
Now, the depends on why you're asking is interesting because it implies that under the right conditions, he would send this to him.
Also, the cheeky emoji, depends why you're asking. Do you want to see?
And that's kind of was it depends. Do you want to beat off to this?
Yeah, it's
or are you trying to get me busted?
Right.
If you're trying to beat off, then we're dogs. Let's go. Anyway, then he continues to just say, yes, I have it.
I created copies of all of our messages and everything when that court case started. Just to be clear,
and again, I just can't imagine if you're Destiny, not to put myself in the mind of an absolute evil, psychopath like that, but I feel like my go-to move in this instance would just be denied. Imagine even admitting to this Willie Mack guy on Discord that depends on why you're asking. If I was Destiny, I'd just be like, nope, total smear. I'm innocent.
I think it's because something about the pathology of these guys, right? Something about what makes them do these kinds of things is that they think deep down, and they've rationalized to themselves deep down that other people are like this too. Other people want this just as much as you, but they don't have the courage you have. They're not being honest with themselves like you are. This is totally normal, man. Listen to this Ted Nugent lyric from 1974, man. He also wanted to get with some 14-year-olds, bro.
That's such a creepy
song.
It's
super creepy, right? Iggy Pop also has a line about getting with it was creepy. It was wrong. But guys with this kind of pathology, they will use that as fuel. They'll be like, 80 years ago, I would have been able to get away with this, just like the rest of them good old boys did, You could marry your cousin if she was tight and good looking, things like that. That's the kind of mentality that he's getting himself into. And so he cannot help himself. He physically cannot help himself. He likes this guy. He wants to see that this guy is like him too, damaged, fucked up, a creep. So that then they can have that camaraderie that Ethan was mentioning. I think he genuinely thought either one, this guy cares enough about being in proximity to me. He cares enough about the clout that I can offer him. He cares enough about the fact that I am resourced enough that my community can financially impact and uplift him, right? or he's into CP like me.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he definitely is. Yeah, he's weirdly not denying it. Really, he keeps leaning into it. We'll go back to this video in a second, but here's another one of these weird posts where he's kind of like cheekily just acknowledging the fact that he's a pedophile. Like, ha ha ha. So funny. This person says Destiny asked a girl for her number and she pulled out a leapfrog, which is pretty funny actually. But you know, Destiny has to be in on the joke, even though the joke is on him about him being a pedophile. So now he's like chiming in with a funny, you know, response, which is basically like, "Yep, I do want to fuck children. I'm proud of it," or something. And I mean, obviously, people would say, "Oh, he's just joking." I remember like Grok said that on the last one. They were like, "He's using his typical sardonic sense of humor to dispatch with criticism." It's like, yeah, that is happening, but it's also just very weird. I'm like, who's the audience for this other than other pedophiles? Like, I can't imagine being someone who's like, I really want to believe that Destiny's innocent, and then seeing him just turn this all into a joke and come away with that feeling okay. I think it's pretty disturbing, not to pearl clutch or anything, but given the actual substantive accusations against this person and what we know about him, yeah, it does seem just inappropriate to fucking joke about it like this.
I think that a big part of it has to be the demographic makeup and the dynamic that Destiny has with his audience. So the people that he needs to be with him right now are the 25,000 just like hardcore I'm sick for Destiny guys. Like my whole social circle is a parasocial circle.
It's just crazy to imagine Destiny being that guy.
But he does have that audience of people, and what he's doing is he's being like, no guys, the world is changing. I'm the same old edgelord Destiny. They're trying to make it seem like I'm a criminal when you guys know how we talk. You guys know how we joke. We're just kidding, right? And he's trying to insulate himself from any criticism with his edgelord humor, right? It's the same thing as the joke you mentioned earlier when he got accused of, flirting with a 15-year-old, and he makes the joke and he's like, but have you seen how they've been putting out those 15-year-olds nowadays? And it's like, yeah, dude, that still makes you sound disgusting, even though you said the second part sarcastically. Like, that's actually what you're living. Like, you are actually living like that. So no matter how sarcastically you say it, oh, wouldn't it be so gross if it was like this? Yes, that's why we're all calling you a disgusting dweeb, a twerp, okay? A guy you would not leave your fucking daughter around.
Fuck no. And this one's specifically creepy because this kind of toy is not even played by with like a 15-year-old or 17-year-old kid. This is like something like a 6-year-old or like a 7-year-old would be playing with. So it's like, all right, bro, you're just getting darker and darker under the guise of comedy here. Yeah. And it's just disturbing as fuck. But let's go back to that video because there are some pretty interesting revelations and details. And again, it's pretty funny to watch Ethan Klein have to grapple with all this and throw Destiny right under the bus where he belongs.
Having alleged CP downloaded on his computer, he literally has the video open as I'm talking to him. I go, bro, there's been allegations at least since my last video that she was underage, and you still have potential CP of her? He replies, I have an obligation to preserve relevant evidence, etc. So I created backups of all of the important / relevant conversations.
So this is not true. You do not have any obligation to save child porn under no condition, legal or civil. Are you under any obligation to save child pornography on
master litigator over here
your hard drive?
To help,
but it is true.
Defend yourself in court,
sir. I would like the evidence to speak for itself. Yeah. I'm accused of having child pornography. The evidence, the child pornography. As you can see, you are right, sir. This is how child porn works. If you have it, you're guilty. If you have it, that's a crime. The only people that can legally have child pornography, anyone under 18, is an investigator, an official, a police person who's in the service of investigating or working on some crime.
That's actually what Destiny actually is. He's a secret undercover investigator of child sex crimes, impersonating one to infiltrate the Discord. He's like Chris Hansen, He's just on Discord,
He was this close to Trump.
Yeah.
This close. Years of science and research down the drain. The Epstein's list was within his grasp.
But it's like I hate to catch myself laughing at Ethan, but isn't this refreshing to hear him actually make fun of someone who deserves to be made fun of and actually go at someone with the aggression that fucking deserves it instead of just Hassan for stupid invented bullshit?
Yeah, I still wish that, people were saying that if only he would, keep an inhaler on air, he wouldn't have this like coughing problem anymore. Hey, bro, you've got bands. Like, consider an inhaler. That would make it a more enjoyable experience for the audience and yourself. I can't imagine it feels good to feel like you have to fucking, hack up a lung every time you need to speak on your own broadcast.
I think that's another reason why they're moving towards the more edited videos. Because if you compare this to a live show, it's clear that a lot of those are being edited out, and it is a smoother listen, in my opinion. Again, no offense, I know that it's a medical condition or whatever, but it is a lot easier to listen to without the constant coughing and weird shit.
Is my bong an inhaler?
Of crime, right? That excludes Destiny, of course. Now, I don't think he's that dumb. So what my theory is, and again, this is all conjecture, and it doesn't really matter, honestly, but I think he kept it in the spank bank. I think he just kept it because he likes it.
It's just so stupid to keep it.
Like, there's got to be a piece of your brain. And I know...
Actually, you know what? I'm sorry to give Ethan credit when he's being a disgusting pervert, but kind of funny, too. I remember this is something that people do. This is something that people do after they've committed crimes, right? Like, I watched this one special on Oprah when I was a kid, and they had the mom and they had the daughter, and like the daughter had been like sexually assaulted by the stepdad. But when they were like putting the stepdad in jail, he had a safe that was filled with underwear in children's sizes that had been worn by children. I'm like, they keep weird fucking shit, these assholes.
Destiny is a very sharp guy. I've seen his debates, seen his videos. There's got to be a piece of your brain who's like, well, okay, so hold on, let me get this straight. He's just learned recently, after this Kiwi Farm thing happened a couple of days ago, that she's 17.
According to Willie Mack, it was already like a potential, though, before that.
So I guess
before he found out for sure.
So a few days ago is when this story broke. And so according to his account, he just found out, which I have some interesting info on that, but let's continue.
Because I don't think I'm allowed to delete it, LOL. I don't know if it counts as hiding/destroying evidence. And
That's easy to find out.
It's child porn.
It's easy to find out. You ask your lawyer.
It's actually child porn. I don't know if I should erase this child porn. That's a question he asked himself. Do I need to save this child porn for evidence? No, you don't. Pretty clear.
Reply, talk to a lawyer. That seems crazy to me. Who keeps this sort of stuff on their computer without 100% knowing if they're supposed to or not?
Exactly.
Isn't that something you want to confirm? I continued. You just let me know you have CP videos saved to your computer. You knew it was alleged that she was underage. You still have them. Do you see how fucked this is? So now I've confirmed that this guy has child porn on his computer. In my 8 years of reaching out to people over allegations, I've never had anyone admit that to me. The last message he sent me was, one, I don't even know 100% of her age was legitimately less than 18 when these were taken. So basically, he's not 100% sure if he has child porn.
That's exactly where my problem begins. If you don't know for sure, you should never engage. Like, you need to be more responsible than that.
Yeah, and that's the Pro Jared thing. It's like Pro Jared, he was getting nudes from his fans, and he goes, you got to be 18 to send them. And they're like, yeah, of course. And then he just collects everybody's nudes. It's like, that's why you don't.
And everybody should listen to Gila. She's from the IDF. They're experts in getting away with sex crimes.
Get fucking nudes from random people online, especially if you're a fucking influencer, right? And you know she's hella young, which, again, I have proof of that, which you guys, I have something to show you guys at the end that made Dan almost keel over. It's that insanely cringe. You guys are going to fucking die. So stay tuned to the end.
Should we skip ahead to that? Or
Yeah, sure. Feel free to. I didn't even honestly get that far myself.
Let's see. It looks like here's the DMs. If we want to just take a look.
Okay.
Just sit on that. Because that's nothing compared to what.
A discreet
But also,
video
it's
of your
definitely doing a little.
Oh, just the way he types too. It's like, are you trying to be a cringy, like fucking neckbeard? Like, yes, ma'am. If you can, give me a discreet vid of your lil. Fucking disgusting, bro.
And I'm pretty sure what she's watching on mute is sexually explicit content that was set from Destiny. And she's saying, I can't watch it all right now because family and kids are all over the place. That's the context of this, everybody. Yes, man. Like, could you
Someone needs to just fucking send Destiny to the gas chambers. This is too much. There's no coming back from this.
Age play here. Can I see your little feet? A secret video of your feet?
Little bit.
Okay, you guys ready? All right, here it goes. She says to him, my parents are super, super strict. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't go there. Don't talk to me. So when you're like, oh, my parents don't let me do anything fun. It's like, oh, you're a kid. His response is this, and I will read it verbatim. He says, well, fuck. It would be so hot to drive you home from a date and make you suck me off in the car. I'd love to send you inside your parents' house after making you swallow a full load from me.
Oh, and she's a child, guys. This is a 17-year-old child he's talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it gets dark.
Is that the same person?
Yeah, it's the same person.
Okay, there's so many different accusers and different people that Destiny has allegedly offended that it's hard to keep them all straight. But yeah, that's extra disgusting if it's the 17-year-old.
This is the 17-year-old that has the pseudonym Rose.
Oh.
He knew she was a child and he liked.
That might be the worst thing I've ever read.
It's the worst thing I've ever read.
I'm a little desensitized because that's the second time I've read it. The first time my jaw was on the floor. Yeah. But that might be the most fucked up, disgusting thing I've ever read in my life.
So anyway, I think that was the last bit of the juicy bits from this video.
Crazy shit. Crazy shit. Do you want to take a look at some of the responses from Destiny himself? Because he has fired back.
Yeah, do you have them?
Yeah, I have some pulled up
for sure.
Right here. This one is interesting. I'm kind of interested in how you think the proper way to respond to this would be. Like from Ethan's perspective. Hopefully this plays. If not, I can just send you the link. But apparently, this awkward moment was just shared by Destiny from not that long ago on H3.
Buttons are open.
Oh my goodness, I was 16 years old here.
Wow, look at you guys here.
Dad's 21 and I'm 16.
Dude, if that happened today, bro, you would not.
Oh, I know. I know.
21 and 16.
Well, you know what? I was more mature than he was.
Well, I believe that. I actually do believe that.
But look at her. I mean, she
San
looks
Francisco.
Like she just came off the cover of
21 and 16. Were you guys having none
of your business?
What?
Let's fucking go. Did you guys,
not
feel
till
the deal?
She was 18.
Yeah.
Not till she was 18.
We were in love.
Almost.
Oh, you lie.
That's so crazy. Yeah, you could not do that today. I mean,
no.
That would be just like, whoa there, buddy.
Yeah.
Buttons are up.
So yeah, Destiny is, basically posting that to say, Ethan, when he finds out his own dad was also a pedophile, which I mean, yeah, that's a tricky one because now Ethan is on the record saying it's pedophilia to exchange videos with a 17-year-old, and here's this video of his own parents talking about how they met when his mom was 16 and his dad was 21, and they're laughing it off as if it's romantic and from a different era and all that stuff. And it is complex because I don't know what the fuck was going on with Ethan's parents and whether or not his mom was groomed by her dad.
Probably was.
Probably.
I heard enough.
Yeah.
What, a 21-year-old guy starts fucking a 16-year-old chick? Yeah, she was groomed. I bet you she was the only dude I bet he was the only dude she'd ever been with, and he was like, oh, I could fucking fuck this starry-eyed 16-year-old, and she'll follow me around like a dog on a leash for the rest of my fucking life. That's why dudes do that. That's why they do that. They do that for one reason, because they want to be able to treat that girl like shit. They want her to not be able to fucking push back. They want her to be so delusionally in love because you took her virginity and lied to her and told her a bunch of fucking shit. All right. And that's why you're 21 and she's 16, because none of the 21-year-old girls you asked out, none of the 20-year-old girls you asked out, none of the 19-year-old girls you asked out wanted anything to fucking do with you. I'm not Ethan, so I can be mean. I can be like, yeah, that's fucking gross. Okay. If it was his grandparents, I would excuse it as a consequence of an earlier time. Potentially that's what it was anyway. But to the modern eyes, like, yeah, that's unacceptable. We don't accept that. Even Ethan himself said that to his parents' face multiple times.
Yeah, he was like, what? That's fucking crazy, bro. So yeah, a little bit of an awkward situation. I don't really know how Ethan's going to respond to that. But this is also a pretty insane. I just can't imagine typing this much about literally anything. Maybe it's just because like nowadays with like voice to text, it's so much easier. Like if you have to make a really long post, or you can just kind of speak and your phone translates it for you. But I hate fucking typing anything that's like really lengthy on my phone. Apparently Ethan fucking loves it. Because he posted this long ass Instagram story in response to Destiny saying, me after smashing the post button on my last IG story. I don't post on X directly because it's too toxic, so I limit myself to 25 stories a day about X posts, and then stumbling into some free snacks for my kids. So this was like him roasting Ethan, I guess.
Yeah.
And Ethan responds with this lengthy screed. He says, Steven, you are a very smart and funny guy. I've been following your career for a long time, since you were cleaning carpets in between StarCraft 2 games. I saw you transition to streaming full time, which, as someone who was also working a 9 to 5, I found really inspiring. It was soon after that I took the same chance on myself, inspired in part by you, to become a full-time creator. Later on, I came around to your political streaming content, a genre you pioneered. You've had such a long and accomplished career that anyone would be extremely proud of. I am genuinely sad about the great potential that you had and for what was thrown away because your vices took over your life. As a parent, you know the implications and ramification of chatting with a 15-year-old. And that is especially crazy that Destiny literally has an underage child himself, like a son who's like 15 or something like that. It makes it even more disgusting. But either way, Ethan says, you know how a teenager looks up to adults they admire and how easily they can be manipulated. The time for irreverent jokes is over. You need help. This is a long pattern of sexual deviancy with teenagers. I hope you take the time to understand what inside you is missing and why that would urge a grown man to flirt with a 15-year-old. I am not taking pleasure in any of this. It's all very sad. I do hope you find the help and peace you need because children deserve better. Says the guy who's been low-key defending Israel and their fucking assault on children. Either way,
he spends no time with his own children, probably.
Either way, Destiny responds to that. He says, you need help. Quoting, obviously, what Ethan just said about him. I'm clapping and crying. You learned more from Hassan than he could have ever hoped, and now we've come full circle on the snark train. I hope CPS can save your children before the worms turn them into RFK clones. Gas bag. So instead of really responding with like much substance or like even a denial that he's attracted to kids, which is what's being alleged by Ethan here, he kind of just like is like, well, fuck you. I hope CPS, does get called, even though he was just acting like that was outrageous and over the line, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so outrageous to do that. I can't believe this anti-Semitism. But now as soon as Ethan turns on me, I'm going to weaponize that against him and say, actually, you did deserve the skull sent to you, and you did deserve the CPS. And this continues, as we'll see in more tweets that basically continue down this road where Destiny's just like, nope, I was defending you, but now all the stuff I was defending you against, I'm just going to weaponize against you now because you turned on me.
Yeah, it's insane cope, right? Destiny, again, he's the kind of guy who, whether it's politics, whether it's Twitter beef, whatever it is, he is the kind of individual who is going to have a preset conclusion and work backwards from there. So now he started with a new conclusion, right? The conclusion 2 weeks ago was Ethan is defending me. He is saying what I want him to say about Israel, and he is attacking Hassan. That is what I want. I'm going to reward that with positive reinforcement. I'll work backwards from Ethan is correct and actually good to make my debate arguments, right? I'll work back from there. I'll grab whatever evidence I can to steel man that argument, and I will go to war. Now he's just flipped completely. He's like, oh, Ethan is an enemy. I'm going to work backwards from everything, knowing that Ethan is my enemy, and so anything that I would have used to steel man the alternative argument, I will, get rid of, and I'll steel man this new argument that he's my enemy, and I don't care about hypocrisy.
Yeah, 100%. It's pretty crazy just to see how his principles or whatever, just go out the window over the night in order to tear down someone who he would have happily defended all over personal shit. But here, again, this is like seemingly just a joke, but Destiny's now like all in on Free Palestine because of the fact that Ethan is obviously against Free Palestine.
Really disgusting shit from him. This is honestly, it's like, how do you be like, this is a new low from a guy that was like fucking
from Destiny?
Yeah. But just like, imagine like after all of this, like all that the Palestine movement, and again, it's grasping at straws. This is a guy who's a moral black hole. I mean, this is a really bad person, but the idea that you would just use the Palestinian cause as a way to like fucking, get under the skin of Ethan Klein. I don't know. It just adds insult to injury to me.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm trying to find it, but there's another one where he's like, actually, Hila is a terrorist and she did participate on this raid. Like, even though he was defending her like literally a week ago and saying it was outrageous for Hassan to say what he said about how she's a valid military target. Now all of a sudden it's like, actually, they're right about that. Fuck Ethan and Hila. They're both terrorist lovers. They both, love Israel's genocide and stuff like that. So I'll keep trying to find that one specifically. But there's just so much insanity that's been going on being I think this might be it. I'm not sure. I would also like to apologize for misleading you all in the past. The Julumni is real. I tried to play it off after I realized the huge mistake I made talking about it publicly. So yeah, he's just leaning into this like, now I'm anti-Semitic essentially.
Yeah,
it's very bizarre.
I'll do anything to be edgy so that people think that this guy's basically what he wants. His whole goal is to have at least some people, his hardcores mostly, and anybody else that he thinks he could win in the future, take away from this, like, oh, they're just getting butthurt, they're just triggered because he's an edgelord. So what's he doing? He's saying edgy shit about everything now. Oh, I'll say edgy shit, like, oh, call me an anti-Semite, then call me homophobic, call me Islamophobic, call me anything, right? You could even call me a child predator if you want. And it's like, well, dude, you are a child predator, so even if you say it in that voice, it still makes you one. And let's actually hear from the horse's mouth, Gavin. Let's hear from Destiny. I don't know if it was before he lost his mind, but he certainly had more of it to spare before, this recent batch of things. This is in, I think, like 2018 or something like that, 2017. It's Destiny. He's 29, I believe he says in the video.
When you're 19, you're a little kid, okay? Now, if you're 22, a 19-year-old's not a kid to you, okay? I'm 29. A 19-year-old might as well be a 15-year-old to me. It's all the fucking same, dude. Don't give me this fucking, just because of some legal age of consent, whatever bullshit, I have about as much in common with like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old fucking freshman in school as I would a fucking sophomore in high school. Any type of inclination towards any of those people is really fucking weird. When you're not,
I agree.
I totally agree, bro. Wow, you were really spitting. What happened to your brain? What happened to your brain, dude? I don't know if that was just him projecting, if that was just him thinking. That's actually what a person who's normal would say, right? Like, oh, this is how I can really, create cover for myself. I'll be like, I would never even have sex with a 19-year-old. That's legal, bro. That's totally legal. But I would never do it because I'm a good person. That's even though it's totally legal and I could definitely do it in like every single state, I wouldn't do it because, well, that would be weird, right? Either he was genuinely just like trying to create cover for himself for all this time, or something happened over the last 10 years or so that really broke him and changed his chemistry and brain makeup. And I don't know enough about, this weird like sexual deviancy and like how it manifests in people, right, to know if it's something that can occur later in life. But I was under the impression that it was something that you usually battled like your entire like post puberty. If you are a pedophile. Yeah. So and oftentimes it's because those people were victims of, pedophilia. Like they were exploited as a child, and it fucks up your brain psychology. And then you're attracted to people who are the same age as you when you were abused by someone. So it's really,
that's not all pedophiles,
no,
but a decent portion of them. Yeah.
Right. So I'm wondering if it's like the other way around, where it's like you're 35 and you're like, you know what? I think I just woke up this morning and I really wish that I was 14 again. Like, I don't know. Like, I genuinely do not know. But this seemed like a completely different guy than the Destiny we've been discussing for the last hour.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, Destiny used to make a lot more good points about a lot of things. He used to argue in favor of he used to be a Bernie bro, almost back around the time that video was probably recorded.
That's crazy. I always forget about that. You mentioned that sometimes. I always imagine him being like a Hillary Clinton stan back in the day.
No, he kind of turned into more of an establishment Democrat in 2020. Like he actually, I think, supported Pete Buttigieg in 2020. But back in 2016, it was like him, Hassan, and Kyle Kulinski. They were like the Bernie bros on the internet that were streaming and making content. Like Kyle would come on Destiny stream and they'd talk about Bernie and how awesome he was. So it's genuinely crazy how far Destiny's fallen. And honestly, I do kind of agree. Again, not to give too much credit to Ethan, but I kind of agree with that post where he's like, it's really disappointing and embarrassing what's become of you. You had so much potential. You obviously are a smart guy who did pioneer this genre, and to see you become this gross fucking pervert, it's like, what the fuck? Why are you cultivating this? Why are you leaning into it too? It's just a bizarre choice from Destiny to go down such a weird rabbit hole. And yeah, he does need help.
Yeah,
seemingly.
Oh, he needs to stay the fuck away from Discord, stay the fuck away from children. I literally do not understand it.
The vanguard will be there, sir. The vanguard will be there, sir.